we are inherited a lot of knowledge and skills from colleagues from our RHA team from the previous project led by Rashid and also contributed by Slava. And we made some efforts to look what we can do with LIPS analysis for national interests. And we looked to analysis of geological samples, but very specific, it was from the very specific sites. We published already the first results of pilot research on this for geological samples from deep boreholes in Latvia. Latvia is covered by very deep drillings up to 1 kilometer. During the Soviet time, samples were collected. Analyses were made as much, not very much, but still searching for very large concentrations of some elements and so on. But they found that there is not so large concentrations, or they are very deep, as there is no sense for industrial applications, and therefore it was simply stored, these samples in some storages and not tested at once. And now when we have this possibility for LIPS analysis, we have a chance to return to these samples to look for more rare elements. And also now these technologies are advanced and maybe there is something very valuable. But anyway, it's a lot of academic interests, but we have this deep crystalline structure under this glacier Morena in Latvia, and it's also some information from both sides, from practical applications as well from basic. In this pilot research, we analyzed two samples from this borehole and this borehole, but there are much more, which is now pending for more research, and we are looking forward to use this LIPS analysis, and we are looking forward to win postdoc project for Vyacheslav Kim. And there are more listed there. There's more, but total number is much larger. I will show. But there is, for example, a lot of boreholes in Kurzeme region. It's also need to be tested, and then there is there was one company from Canada in 2011 made some tests for 70 samples to look at what is going on in this Kurzeme region, in this geological structure. I am not from geology. I'm not going to tell you very much about what is it, but anyway, this is the situation on national scale. And of course, when we start this postdoc project, possibly we need to make some initial inventory to select samples which will be more useful for analysis to start, because during one postdoc project you will be able to do everything. Altogether, this number was about that we have about, somewhere was there the numbers. Yeah, there's the numbers. Altogether, the 93 boreholes in these rocks and in crystalline basement of Kurzeme. There is a lot of boreholes there, but there is others also there, more than 100. But anyway, LIPS is very fast analysis. You take samples to do this and to check.
Without any preparation.
Yeah, without any preparation, of course, yeah. And now this geological structure is quite, Latvia is not so large, but still there is a lot of different geological structures across Latvia, and more or less now we know a lot how it could be done. Boreholes diameter seems is something like 10 centimeters is usually going on, and up to 1 kilometer. The deepest one is there. 1 kilometer, 100 meters, 1 kilometer, 200 meters at least. The method we used in this pilot exercise was a very traditional one, that is laser source, there is sample, and there is a detection spectrometer with analysis of spectrum. What is interesting from our first results You see our recording on our spectrum. Is a region from 250 to 1800. There's a lot of lines. That means that there's a lot of elements, and colleagues all together identified that there is a gadolinium, there is terbium, there is dysprosium, there's traces a lot of very, very exotic and specific elements we can find in our.
Rare as elements, it needs.
Sorry?
Rare as elements.
Yeah.
It's very, very
Now demand is rising for all of this. And of course, possibly there's some inclusions, very small ones in these boreholes, and you can very fast to go through. You can repeat once more and to provoke more state finance program for such research and using the system. And I hope I'm not personally, but if we get this laser from Mr. Be used for this analysis as well. Slava can use it very perfectly, and it will be argument that we can start this to make more deeply. But from this, exactly, there's a lot of such attractive elements as thorium, there were magnesium, thorium once more, cobalt, indium, gallium, a lot. And we checked also possibility to, and this was another place where we looked and find out that there is a lot of ferrum, ferrum as well, which was the main target at the beginning, that possibly there is a ferrum, but ferrum is too deep up to now. In competition with Siberia, of course, we are not winning. That was Soviet time. But this is another analysis, and we can see there more ferrum, and in comparison with other analysis which were used for X-ray analysis and chemical analysis. And one more picture was there. And this is example of X-ray fluorescence analysis. You see they also found sulfur, calcium, yes, magnesium. Yes, that means we also found, but lips are more sensitive for sure. If you are seeing resonance lines, for sure this element is there. About concentrations, the next step, of course, to go from quality to quantity. Then you need to say calibration and so on. You know this better than I. Yes, and what is the conclusion? That there is a presence of molybdenum, cobalt, vanadium, gallium, and so on, already found, including such very, very, very exotic elements, and also actinides and so on. Therefore, seems it's valuable from both points of view, from some basic research, just to understand what we are sitting on as a nation, and from other side, how much there could be some potential for industrial applications. Yes, and what could be done for a postdoc project? The revision of studies for samples at formed since times when drilling was made, the studies on the current state of the art in application of lips and deep borehole. Target experimental research, that means that we need to plan some roadmap how we can do this during the 3 years project for postdoc, but there is a human capacity, one postdoc and maybe one or two students together. And then, and of course, to think how, if it's needs to make some calibrations, where we can have to do it. And of course, to provide some plans and also for further advancement to create larger project, how we can proceed with this, it's useful. For future large-scale studies. Seems I have nothing more to tell. Thank you.